Hello friends, welcome to my Principle of Mathematical Induction Part 2, and you might be wondering that what is this wire. I must say that this wire is of my earphone. Okay, I wear it because means just to avoid the noises from outside in my video. Okay, so don't focus on this. So now if you have not seen my Principle of Mathematical Induction Part 1, quickly go to the playlist and see it. Even provided the link of my Principle of Mathematical Induction Part 1 in the description box. Okay, so now in this part 2, we are going to study some different and some high-level sums about principle of mathematical induction. Okay, the first sum says that we have studied a law of exponents, that b raised to n is equal to a raised to n, b raised to n, right? So now we have to prove this law. By the principle of mathematical induction. Okay, write this fire. Okay, so now let's see how can you do it. How can I prove this law by the principle of mathematical induction? Okay, so now we know that our first statement would be let AB raised to n be principal statement. Okay, then we say let n be equal to 1, means wherever in the equation there is an n, we will be replacing it with a 1. It becomes P1 because there was an n up here. Okay, it is equal to what? AB raised to 1. Now we write the power 1 or not, it won't matter, so it becomes AB. Okay, which is A and B only, because now there is no need of the braces. Okay, so it gives us AB. Okay, now let's substitute n to be 1 in this formula also. Okay, so what it gives us? A raised to 1, B raised to 1. Now we write the power 1 or not, it would be the same thing. Okay, so what it gives us? A and B. Okay, so means when n is equal to 1, LHS is equal to our RHS. Okay, so means our statement is true for n is equal to 1. Okay, so let's write it also. Okay, so let me write it. Statement is true for n is equal to 1. Okay, so now everyone know the next step. We'll be writing here let P in K be true for some natural number K. Okay, so now means wherever in the equation there is an n, we will be replacing it with a k. Okay, so let's do it. AB raised to k is equal to A raised to k multiplied by what? B raised to k. Okay, now we are letting this statement to be true. Okay, so now let's write our next statement, which would be let P k plus 1, wait, no, it should be, sorry, now we shall prove pk plus 1 is also true. Okay, so means wherever in this equation there is a k, we will be replacing it with what? A k plus 1. Okay, so let's do it. A b raised to k plus 1 is equal to A raised to k plus 1 and B raised to k plus 1. Okay, so now the equation pretty easy for us. Okay, so now I can say that I can also write this equation as AB raised to k multiplied AB raised to 1. Okay, because both are same, so the parts will get added. Okay, and here it is as it is. Now here the power is 1, means if we write it or don't write it, it won't be mattering. Okay, so A plus B raised to k multiplied by A B, and our RHS is as it is. Okay, so now this is in multiplication. Okay, so what it becomes? A b raised to k, it becomes a raised to k b raised to k in bracket and multiplied by ab, variated by k. Now some people might be thinking that but I had to prove this. Okay, means basically I'm trying to say that I have to prove this only. Okay, a plus b raised to n is equal to a raised to n, b multiplied b raised to n. So how can I do here like a b raised to k is equal to a raised to k b raised to k? Okay, because that's what they have to prove. Okay, but friends, do you remember that we letted this statement a b raised to k is equal to a raised to k and multiplied by b raised to k true? Okay, means we letted this statement to be true. Means wherever in this equation there is an a b raised to k, we can easily substitute it with a raised to k b raised to k. Okay, and that's what we did up here. Okay, and our RHS is as it is. So let's write it b raised to k plus 1. Okay, now this is in multiplication. So let's multiply them. A raised to k plus 1. Okay, because the bases are same, and b raised to k plus 1, and it is equal to our RHS. Okay, so friends, by the principle of mathematical induction, we have proved this statement. Means basically we have proved the law of exponents. Okay, so now we will be writing hence proved. So our question is done. Okay, so now friends, let's see the second example. Example 2. Okay, it says that 7 raised to n minus 4 raised to n. Okay, we are given this and we are told that we have to prove that this is divisible by 3. Okay, means basically when we divide it by 3, we would be getting an exact answer and no remainder except for 0 would be left. Okay, and I have to prove it by the principle of mathematical induction. And where n belongs to, this is the sign of belongs to for those who don't know, for n belongs to a natural number, because this is the topic of class 11. So now you should know that this is the symbol of belongs to. Okay, so now let's see how can you do it. First we would be writing let be principal statement. Let n be equal to 1, because p1, and 7 raised to 1 minus 4 raised to 1, and now 7 raised to 1 is 7 only, and 4 raised to 1 is 4 only. Okay, and notice that 7 minus 4, it is, we know, 3. Okay, now let's see if 3 is divisible by 3, and I can say that 3 is completely divisible by 3 and leaves the quotient, means the answer, as 1, and the remainder left is 0, means there is no remainder left. Okay, so we write statement is true for n is equal to 1. Okay, so now we will be writing here let pk okay, means wherever in the equation there is an n, we will be replacing it with what was the k. Okay, so let's do it. 7 raised to k, it becomes 7 raised to k minus 4 raised to k is divisible by 3. Okay, so now we are letting for now that this statement is true. We are letting that this statement is 100% true. Okay, now okay, now we shall prove that pk plus 1 is also true. Okay, okay, so now let's see how can you do it. Means wherever in the equation there is a k, you will be replacing it with a k plus 1. So let's do it. 7 raised to k plus 1 minus 4 raised to k plus 1. Okay, divisible by 3. Okay, but now I can see that I can't prove anything from this. Okay, So let me do one thing. I will let something, okay? What I will let it? Okay, so let me let this equation, that 7 raised to k minus 4 raised to k to be, let's say, 3x. Okay, we are just letting it. Okay, so now let's move ahead with our process. So now we are going to do a little complex step. Now we are going to add and subtract 7 multiplied by 4 raised to k. Okay, so let's do it. Now the meaning is completely same because this and this will get cut, okay? But is there a motive to bring an equation like this so that I can put here 3x? I did this, okay? So here I can see that 7 is common. So let's do it. Let's take it out common. Minus what is left up here? 4 raised to k. Okay? Plus what is common up here? And can you see that here 4 raised to k is common. Okay, so let me take it out common. 4 raised to k. 7 minus 4 raised to 1, which is 4 only. Okay, now let's put a 7. Now you can see that 7 raised to k minus 4 raised to k. Okay, this is the same as this. And I letted this to be what? 3x. So I can substitute up here 3x in place of this. Plus 4 raised to k. Okay, and here what it becomes? What is 7 minus 4? It is 3. Okay, now I can still say that I can take out 3 common. Okay, so let me do it. 7x, because 7 and here x, plus 4 raised to k. Okay, now let me move the camera here because there is less space left. Okay, and I can see that 3 multiplied 7x plus 4 raised to k. If we divide this equation by 3 and 3 will get cut. Okay, means we are getting an exact answer, 7x plus 4 raised to k. Means there is no remainder left except for 0, and we are getting an exact answer. So by the principle of mathematical induction, we have proved that 7 raised to n minus 4 raised to n is divisible by 3 whenever n is a natural number. So friends, if you really like my video, if it really helped you, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel.